What's going on, everybody? Super Saiyan Paul here, back at it again. Today we're going to be breaking down the Dragon Ball spoilers for Dragon Ball Super Episode 130 and Dragon Ball Super Episode 131 alike. These are the final two episodes of Dragon Ball Super, and they're going to be airing on March 18th as well as March 25th. If you guys do not want to be spoiled as to what's going to be happening in these episodes, make sure you guys click off of the video right now before you guys get spoiled as to the finale of the show. If you guys are going to continue watching, make sure you guys smash that like button for me, subscribe, as well as turn on notifications. This way you guys can support the video, as well as comment down below with some of the thoughts that I present here, because we're about to break down the final fight of Dragon Ball Super, and it is the series finale, everyone. It's not the ending of Dragon Ball as a franchise, just the series Dragon Ball Super. There is a movie coming up, and I will be discussing that later on in another video, but for the most part, we have everything set in stone for us except for one thing, and that's what I'll be breaking down as of today. So, they revealed the spoilers for Dragon Ball Super Episode 130 and 131. We already had the titles a few weeks back, and now we have the synopsises. So I'm going to read them out loud and put them on screen for you guys, so you guys can actually see what we're dealing with here. So, Dragon Ball Super Episode 130 is named An Unprecedented Super Showdown, the Ultimate Survival Battle, March 18th. A minute and a half remaining of the Tournament of Power. Son Goku had the upper hand battling Jiren. Jiren then concentrates and finally gets serious. Surrounded by a red aura, he dashes fiercely and fires a ki blast at Goku at point blank range. Goku is totally blown away. From the spectator seats, Krillin and the Turtle Hermit Master Roshis are worried, but... and it's ... So, what we know here is that Jiren's gonna get pissed off. Goku and Jiren are almost tied, like it's neck to neck. Mastered Ultra Instinct isn't completely overpowering Jiren, like some people are speculating. I still say they could have never done that, because if he completely overpowered Jiren, this wouldn't have been much of a final battle. This would have just been a beatdown off of Plot Armor Instinct, which just came out in a minute, so that wouldn't have made much sense. For the most part, they have to be either at a stalemate or Jiren still has to be stronger than it in the slightest way, so we don't necessarily know how Jiren's gonna overpower him, but we do see here is that Jiren's gonna get in a full-powered attack at Goku at point-blank range. Now, moving on to Dragon Ball Super Episode 131, where it basically tells us everything that's gonna be happening in this fight, and everything that's gonna be happening afterwards besides one key thing, and I'll be pointing that out afterwards and breaking that down. So, in Dragon Ball Super Episode 131, a miraculous conclusion. Farewell, Goku, until the day we meet again. March 25th, the final episode of Dragon Ball Super. Son Goku has fallen from the arena. It seems like Universe 7 has lost, and everyone will be annihilated, but... having broken through his limits, Goku and Jiren stare at the Omni-King as if the match isn't over yet, and then a death beam hits Jiren's back. A bruised and battered Universe 7 team member is standing there, and who else possesses the death beam? It's not Android 17, he's dead. It wasn't Vegeta because he's been eliminated. It's Frieza. We all know that's Frieza's iconic attack. It's been in every single video game. That's been Frieza's iconic move since Dragon Ball Z. It was one of the moves that caught even Goku off guard in the movie Resurrection F. So yes, this is true to Frieza's character. And remember, he's been there since the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. He's been there since the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. He was in the movie before Dragon Ball Super even came out, because Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F came out before Super, and that's one of the things that launched into Super, which they bridged upon everything. So Frieza's been there since the beginning. His character's still staying true to what it normally is, and he is getting the final hit. His vengeance against Jiren for the beatdown that ensued in Dragon Ball Super Episode 127, where he bum rushed Jiren in his golden state and he just got completely beat down. So Frieza's been watching these two fight at it since the beginning of the tournament, since the first time Ultra Instinct activated, and it was up to Frieza in the very first fight, afterwards Goku when he was on the floor, to power him back up, because Goku had nothing left, and Frieza said he's watching him, he needs Goku to take out Jiren. So what we know here is that there's going to be basically an even fight between Goku and Jiren in Episode 130, and then I think the fight's going to spill over into Episode 131 instead of it being a final conclusion, because according to the synopsises, Episode 130 says that there's a minute and a half. So meaning that in Episode 129, when Goku mastered Ultra Instinct, that wasn't the full minute, that was 30 seconds, which makes things even worse for the people that actually hate the rushing of the plot. But besides that, in 30 seconds, that was one episode, and I guess another 30 seconds of episode 131 is what's going to take place here, and that's what's going to happen down the line. Now, what we've seen here is that Jiren is going to get a full-powered attack after them being evenly matched, and Goku is going to end up getting ringed out. I'm not necessarily sure if it's from the full-powered attack, but we do know that Jiren's going to win in combat. It's going to be shirtless Jiren, hashtag shirtless Jiren, taking on the win here, and maybe Jiren's just going to be just as weakened as Goku is. Like, if you've ever seen the show Yu Yu Hakusho, like in the final fight of the tournament, in the very last tournament, Yusuke, if you guys know who he is, basically the two main characters at the time, or the final battle, they both drained everything that they had, and then one of them ended up standing, and the other one got defeated. However, since they've drained everything, he has absolutely nothing left, and that's where it leaves Frieza. Even if he was in his weakened state, even if he's bruised and battered, he should be able to take down a weakened Jiren, who probably had to give every single thing he had to take Goku out of the ring. I don't necessarily see Jiren still standing strong and tall, because after everything, I think he'd have to drain like almost 100% of his energy and probably just barely standing there. With Frieza still catching him off guard, Jiren's cockiness and his arrogance is going to be the same thing that we saw in Resurrection F, where Frieza is going to get the final death beam, ring Jiren out, and here's the only interesting part that hasn't been revealed yet, which I will be uploading as soon as they reveal it, if anything. Who is going to get the wish? And the reason why I would say that this is leaning towards Goku and the Universe 7 team rather than Frieza is because, one, Frieza's dead. Two, if Frieza got the wish, he would have wished for, if he's still a bad guy, something very devastating. But there's always the chance that Frieza's a good guy and he's giving the wish to them, or Goku and the team is just taking the wish regardless because Beerus is there and Whis is there and it's Goku squad and everything like that. The reason why I say Universe 7 gets the wish and wishes the universe is back, at the very least Universe 6, is because I've said this before in previous video, guys. Dragon Ball Super is coming out with a movie later on this year. It's going to feature the most Saiyans ever. It's going to feature the origin of the Saiyans. And even if it's going to feature the origins of the Saiyans, they're going to have a Planet Sadala arc, which they mentioned before. But what I figured here is that they switched it, changed it from a Planet Sadala arc that was supposed to follow the Tournament of Power, switched it from just an arc in the show, put it into the movie, and instead of just having an origins of the Saiyan type of thing, they're putting Goku and Vegeta on the posters. This way, we still have a past and presence type of thing with the old school Saiyans, or whatever the origins was, leading into Goku and Vegeta being the poster boys, and then leading us back to the most Saiyans ever featured in a movie, which is going to be on Universe 6, because that's where they're still alive, that's where Planet Sadala is. It all really adds up and makes a lot of sense in that sense. And then with the episode title for Dragon Ball Super Episode 131, A Miraculous Conclusion, Farewell Goku Until the Day We Meet Again, that sounds like it's Jiren saying that, because if you guys noticed in Dragon Ball Super Episode 129, if anything, I don't necessarily say that would be Frieza, that could always be Whis and Beerus, but for some reason I'm saying it's Jiren, because in Episode 129, in the middle of all the hectic combat, in the middle of Goku fighting Jiren in his Ultra Instinct state, there was a moment where Jiren grinned, and Jiren was enjoying the battle. Now, episode 130 hasn't aired yet, but what we've seen from the past here is that Jiren was enjoying this battle. Jiren's been testing Goku. Jiren's been allowing Goku to power up over and over and over again. Jiren let Goku get Ultra Instinct, and it wasn't necessarily on purpose, but he did know that he wanted Goku to unleash everything and show him what he had, and Jiren's cockiness is the end of him. Jiren could have eliminated everyone, and they're ending Jiren off in a very, very weird way, where he's still going to win the fight, and this builds potential for a future rematch, because Farewell Goku Until the Day We Meet Again. One thing that they did not correct with Jiren's character towards the end here is that he's still a shallow character. Brienne is more developed than him. This guy has nothing in his depth, like character depth, besides I'm strong omae wa shinduru character, and they just kept saying Jiren's getting serious, Jiren's getting serious. Jiren is shallow. No matter what you guys say, as much as I love Dragon Ball Super, I love the tournament, and things like that, it does have its flaws. Jiren is still a very, very fatally flawed character, and for them to end it off like this still redeems him in a way, because this sounds as though they're building up for a future rematch, which we might end up seeing one day, if anything, or it's always building up to that, like, mini conclusion, because he did say that with a few people that Goku's fought in the past. Goku got his rematch with Hit, things of that nature. In some weird way, shape, or form, Jiren and Goku had a bond through fighting, and this builds some more depth to Jiren's character, who did not reveal to us what his wish is, and maybe we might get it in the final 2 episodes. That's the main reason why I want to watch these episodes more than anything. Where is this wish going? What was Jiren's wish? What would have Frieza's wish been? And what are they going to wish for, which we kind of already see them bringing and retconning everything that they've done here and undoing everything that they did with the elimination of the other universes. I feel like Goku's going to wish back not only Universe 6, but Universe 11 because of Jiren being his main foe here, or rival in this tournament, for better wording, and him having to say that in this title, farewell Goku. It sounds as though Jiren has to be alive and not eliminated, because if they're doing that, it necessarily means that everything that happened here undone, and this way they can move on and have a very, very vast pool of things to use in the future series, if there is one, which most likely they will, because I don't necessarily see them leaving it off as a cliffhanger because of the movie. The movie has to lead into something in a very peaceful atmosphere, and that can be the cliffhanger, because Battle of Gods, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, the movie, left off in a very big cliffhanger, which rebooted everything, which I think they're going to be replicating that success, that formula, coming this year into another series, because they dug themselves into some holes in Dragon Ball Super. The timeline's out of whack, where they're gonna have to end up reaching the end of Dragon Ball Z, and with things like this at the very forefront of things, they have to end off the timeline somewhere connected to the ending of Z, or retcon GT entirely, even though it's not canon, and really have a set in stone foundation as to where they're going, because a lot of things in this tournament was rushed, we know that, but hopefully they can go back to the drawing board, fix things up, clean things up, and take it to the next level. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. That's Dragon Ball Super episode 130 and episode 131 spoilers. I'll be seeing you guys later. Smash that like button, subscribe, comment down below with your thoughts and opinions. Hit that notification button. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Take care. Peace.